And we're rolling. Boom. Greetings. My name is Nevada O'David Franklin Harper, and this is the I Have a Dream podcast. I am here with Kamer and my co-host Daniel Gomez. Say hi, Daniel Gomez.
What's up, everyone?
You can say hi
what
too.
What up, guys? What up?
All right. It's going to be a very fun episode today. How do you pronounce your last name, Kamer?
Nuhiu.
Nuhiu. All right. So those of you who do not know who Kamer is a striker. That's a killer. And he's smoother than Michael Jackson's Thriller.
All right.
So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. How you like that introduction?
That was awesome.
So Kamer, you know that you're on a I Have a Dream podcast.
Yes, sir.
My first question to you is, speaking of mine, please, what was your dream growing up?
I mean, so that question, yeah, I'm sure you're gonna ask every single soccer player, every guest you're gonna have on here, and it's gonna be the same answer, in my opinion. My dream was definitely to be a professional soccer player.
To be a professional soccer player. I think that Danny wanted to be a firefighter.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so your dream is to be a professional soccer player. So now, everybody have seen you play. As it said in the introduction, you're a killer as a striker. Now, before we tell everybody how good you are and we show them how good you are, how did you get that good? Please, give us a life story that you have had.
Like, where did it start?
Where did it start?
All right, so where it all started was in a small little landlocked country in Eastern Europe. It's called Kosovo, for a lot of people that don't know. And a lot of people still don't know where Kosovo is or what it is. So,
where is it?
I have no idea.
Kosovo.
Yeah, so
I can't even spell it. I'm not even gonna try.
We like to refer to ourselves as Albanians. So Kosovo became a country in 2008, so that's why a lot of people don't know about them. We call ourselves Albanians.
Yeah.
There's a whole story behind it. So I mean, we'll be here all night if I got into it. But yeah, so I was born in Kosovo, and if you can imagine, being born in Europe, the only sport that you play is soccer. Yeah. So school over there growing up was 4 hours long.
4 hours.
Yeah. So it would either be early morning from like 7 to like 11 or afternoon, depending on how old you were. But after that, once you got out of school, you don't even go home to eat nothing. You just drop all your stuff, grab your cleats or shoes or whatever you got, barefoot, whatever. You go to the fields and you play until the sun went down. So, yeah, that was life back home.
Wow, that sounds like a dream. 4 hours of school, and right after you're playing soccer.
Yes, sir.
I would love to do that. So, in your country where you're from, I'm gonna say Albania.
All right.
Can I say that?
Yeah, of course.
In Albania, was it there any big clubs that prepare you to play the way you play today?
No, man, no. We didn't.
Wow.
We didn't have the luxury of playing at a big club. I mean, there were big clubs in the city, but I was born in a village. I mean, I moved to the United States when I was 10 years old, and in the 10 years, the only time I went into the city was to go to the doctors or something like that, So we didn't have cars or anything, so we stayed in our little village. We had a bunch of fields around. It'd be 50, 60, 70 kids over there, just like what we see every Friday night that we play here indoors. That was there every single day. Yeah. Every single day throughout the whole year, until it snowed. But we would be playing out there on the field, so it was kind of self-taught. So there'd be a lot of players that were a little older, knew what they were doing, and the younger ones got lucky, to have some of those guys, the older ones that were still into it, teach us how to shoot, how to dribble, basically soccer.
Wow. That's it. It was self-taught, no academy.
So, until I moved here, and then once I moved here, It was definitely more organized. I joined youth team, travel team,
Where?
in West Springfield, Massachusetts. So we were called Berkshire United, and it was a nice travel team. I mean, played there until I was 14 years old,
Yeah.
right before high school. So I went to high school in Agawam, Massachusetts. Played high school soccer varsity my freshman year for 4 or 5 games, and then I went to Germany to play soccer. My freshman year, I was in Germany in this program for like a month and a half, playing soccer over there. So yeah,
Wow.
so I didn't really get to play much high school soccer.
Wow. Were you invited or did you?
So there was a summer, the Disney showcase.
Yeah.
At the showcase, they selected some players. You know, they invited some players. It was this program called it was like FC Europe or something like that,
Yeah,
or Orlando in Europe
Yeah.
or something like that, because the tournament was in Orlando. So they selected a bunch of kids that played well over there at that tournament, and they called me to go play
That's
over there as well.
Yeah,
So it
that's
was,
awesome.
yeah.
You mentioned the Disney showcase. Was that with the Burke team,
Yes.
the travel team?
Well, so it was Berkshire United, and then it got integrated to Western Mass Pioneers.
Oh, okay.
So the Pioneers had 2 teams. It was our Berkshire team,
Yeah.
and then we called ourselves like Western United White, or it was
Yeah, yeah.
some random color. But yeah, so it was Western United Pioneers.
Nice.
Wow,
Nice.
that is sick.
Yeah.
You went to play in Germany.
Yeah.
Do you remember exactly where in Germany?
It was in Cologne, they call it, but it's
Cologne.
I
Yeah.
think I know what
Cologne,
you-
like
yeah.
how I sell cologne.
Yeah.
So you went to play in Germany, and so how was that like? How was that feeling, knowing that you went to play in Germany, potentially playing in the Bundesliga?
Oh, it was crazy, man. It was absolutely insane. So, the way it worked, the way the program worked, you had to go to school as well. So we
Okay.
went to a German school. We had a German teacher, like that spoke English as well, but they would teach us German as well. So we would train 3 times a day.
Wow.
Early in the morning, we would do some sort of physical thing. You kind of wake up, you go to school for 2-3 hours because it was a sports school.
2
Every kid that
hours?
went to that school was, either in soccer or hockey or, some sort of sport that they played. And then during lunchtime, after lunch, you go play, and then at night you have your training session as well. But the level that we trained at
Yeah.
was insane. So we had a bunch of scrimmages as well out there. We played against some pretty good teams. We didn't play any Bundesliga teams, but Bundesliga 2 teams we played against.
Yeah.
And after that, we had different age groups in our little group. It was like 18 of us, but it was from 12, 13 years old to like the 18-year-olds, and there was like 3 of them. And then we would play against like U15 teams, U16 teams, U18 teams. So we had like 12-year-olds on the bench playing against a U18
Wow.
German team. So it was kind of crazy. And at the time, I was 14 years
14
old.
years
so,
old, yeah.
Yeah, I was very young, but our first game we played, it was like VfL Osnabrück for anybody out there that watches Bundesliga 2. I think right now they're at the bottom of the table right now. But
Oh no.
yeah, we played our first game against those guys, and we ended up beating them like 6-3 or something like that. 6-3, and I had 5 goals.
Oof.
And I got called to train with them after, so I was 14 training with their U18s, trained with
That's impressive.
trained with the Cologne U15s for like 2 nights. So it was a crazy experience. It was an amazing experience. I learned a lot over there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, just how to be a professional at 14 years old. I was out there by myself, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to get dressed by
Imagine,
myself
only
at the
at
wash
14
By
too.
yourself
Like
at,
14.
at age 14 years old.
So
Oh
it was
my
a
god.
crazy experience, but that definitely like kickstarted my professionalism, if you
Yeah.
want to call it, in
Bro.
the sport.
So you're at Germany
Yeah.
at age 14
Yeah.
playing that level of soccer, that level of football that everybody that wants to be a professional footballer, this is like grassroots of what they want.
Yeah.
So what are you doing here? Why are you coming here to America? You had it all.
That's the $100 question. What happened?
Great or neither of them. So I was either my brothers at some point, cousins,
Right.
whoever could watch me because I didn't have the proper paperwork to come to the United States, whereas the rest of my family did. So I spent from 4 years old till 10 years old seeing my father once or twice out of the year for 2 weeks, whatever time he got from work.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually when I finally got to the United States at 10 years old, 4 years later, I'm back in Europe. I'm back by myself, playing soccer. Yeah, so that kind of kept me sane. But just being away from my family, it was tough. At 14 years old, it was tough.
You're still a kid.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't easy, but I did get offers to stay,
Mm-hmm.
either with a host family or have somebody from my family move there with me.
Yeah.
And at the time, nobody was planning on doing any of that. Everybody was starting to get on their feet here in the United States, work-wise and all of that, language-wise, all of that. So nobody could make that,
Commitment.
Sacrifice.
yeah, sacrifice, commitment, all of that. Nobody could do that. So I finally decided to come back here to the United States, and I wanted to play academy. I heard of academy over there. A couple of kids in the program were playing academy over here, and there was just they were talking about how great it is and how big of an opportunity you have, playing academy, going to Division I school, or going pro from academy. So I was like, my whole family's here. You know what? I believe in myself. I'm going to try that route instead. So I decided to come back here. I sat in front of my computer and looked up academy teams near me.
Yeah.
And I was in Western Mass. Not many academy teams around.
Yeah.
I have New England Revolution, which is like an hour and a half away from my house,
Yeah.
or Oakwood, which was like 50 minutes in Glastonbury, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried out for both. I had a pretty good resume, when I would tell them I was playing out in Germany, this, that. So
Yeah.
I tried out for both. The New England Revolution camp was like 80 kids there. And
That's a lot.
and we were in the indoor facility. So it was tough. I felt like I played great, but it was tough to get noticed. And, it didn't seem like I was gonna be seen over there. So whatever. The next day, I contacted Kevin Bacher, who was the head coach for my age group at Oakwood.
Right.
And, he invited me out to a practice, and that's where I felt like, okay, I'm going to be playing with the kids that are on the team instead of just random kids from all over the state. So that's where I was like, this is my chance, I'm going to show up. So I went over there. The level you could tell from high school soccer to academy was insane. These kids were committed, determined, they wanted to be there. They played well, very, very smart players. I could tell right away. And we were all 15 years old, 14, 15 years old. So I could tell that's where I wanted to start playing.
Yeah.
So after my first practice session, I called for a second one. And then over that weekend, they had a trip out to D.C. to play 2 games. I think it was one against like Met Oval out of Baltimore or something like that. And then the second game was against DC United. So it was against their DC United U15 team. And my first game, so we had a game Saturday and Sunday. Saturday was against that Met Oval team. I believe it was Met Oval. I played like 5 minutes maybe. Like 5 minutes, it was my first game. I had 2 training sessions, and it was important games for them. So it was kind of like, and the way it works in the academy is once you get subbed off, you can't go back in.
Yeah.
So I don't think they had the trust in me. It was a close game. It was like tied the whole game, and then I came on for like the last 5 minutes, barely touched the ball, whatever. The second game against DC United, though, one of the kid that was playing the 10, he got injured in the game. So I got subbed on. scored 2 goals
Boom.
back to back in 30
Boom.
seconds.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's when my Oakwood career kick started. Yeah, so that's where everything started. You know, I fell in love with the team. I fell in love with the program. Fell in love with soccer. You know,
30 seconds.
so yeah,
That's all he needs.
I have video evidence of it too. So if
You-
you need it,
you need to send it to me.
Yeah, but yeah, that's where everything kind of kick started, academy wise. You know, a lot of my friends that were still in high school, they were, some of them, the real ones, were happy that I was playing academy. Some of them didn't really like me afterwards because I wasn't allowed to play high school soccer.
Oh.
So
Yeah, that was a trade-off back then. I don't know if they still do that now, but I know back then it's like you have to choose between your high school team or academy.
yeah, I'm not sure about it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the trade-off, and I never regret it. I mean, I loved it. We trained 4 times a week,
Yeah, like
you know, 3-4 times a week, and
Nice.
it was just what I wanted to do. So,
Yeah.
Football heaven.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Sounding like football heaven to me. Now, how old are you right now, Kamer?
I am 24 years old now.
24 years old. Wow. When was your birthday?
September 22nd.
Bro, Kamer look like a full dad. You look like a full
Getting
dad.
there.
You're getting
Hopefully
there.
soon, yeah.
Man, I hope your kid can play much better than you, but you are a stellar baller. Could you imagine?
Appreciate it. Yeah,
Wow.
that's the goal, you know, for all of us. So
Man.
we'll see, hopefully.
So so it seems like you had good building blocks to make you to become a professional. I know you're playing in Germany, you came here.
Yep.
Now you're playing at Oakwood, yeah? So how are you not playing professional level? Why are you here doing this with us? We should be watching you on the TV, and I said this to another guest the other day. We should be watching you on the TV. What happened?
College soccer, you know, if anybody that knows the way I play, the system, the way I play, the way I am as a player,
Yeah.
a lot of colleges or college soccer in general does not really work with my play style. They like fast-paced, things happening quick. I'm one that kind of sits back, reads the game, you know, likes to slow things down,
Right.
and hold up type of thing, where I went into college soccer and it was the defenders, boom, it up the field,
Yeah.
barely using the midfield, and then you run and chase. And then you hope for the other team to make a mistake and, you know, get in on goal. So that's why it was college for me, and I can freely use that excuse as to why I'm not playing where I should be playing.
So before getting into college, when you were at Oakwood, were you playing midfield?
I played 3 positions. I started off as a striker.
Mm-hmm.
My first actual game was playing the 10, and I played a whole season at the 6.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Really?
I could see that though.
You can see
He
Kamer
knows
as a
the game,
6?
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I
I remember you texting me a couple of months or years ago. Maybe like when you first joined KO, you told me too. He's like, "Yo, if you need a 6, no problem, I'll play there."
Yeah.
that would,
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I still scored. I was still the second top scorer on the team.
As a 6?
As a 6, I had 13 goals in the academy, which is
You hear that?
Yeah.
Because you play 6.
I play 6 now. I used to play the 10, always a 10.
Doesn't have that much goal.
But when you were at
No.
Oakwood too, those 4 years, right? U14 to like U18. Did you still have like dreams and aspirations to go pro or like?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Until college, if you
Yeah.
ask me a question, so you know, what do you want to be in life? You know,
Yeah,
in there, what do you want to be?
That's
Professional soccer player. You know, it's always the answer.
Yeah.
So, especially playing at the level we were playing at, you know, we had a really good team. We won the league in, I'm pretty sure, in Oakwood history.
Really?
With my team, yeah.
That was a team with like
Wow.
a couple guys I know, right? Like
Yeah,
Dez.
yeah.
Was Clark on the team?
No, Clark played for the
Revs.
Revs, which is, if Alex is watching this, I scored a nasty free kick on the Revs to win the league. So we won 1-0, and
look right into that
yes,
camera.
sir,
and say,
Alex. I'm not sure if he was in the game or not. He might have been playing up. Alex was a really good player, so he might have been playing up. But it was Oakwood, Montreal Impact, and New England Revolution. We were in third. New England was in first, and Montreal was in second. And we had a weekend of back-to-back games against the Revs and Montreal Impact, which was horrible for us. But we ended up winning both games against the Revs. We were all tied on points. So we ended up beating the Revs 1-0, scored a free kick against them. And then I played the sixth against Montreal Impact, where, man, Montreal Impact, for anybody that played against them out there at any age group, demons.
Really?
Oh, my God, those kids were insane.
Wow.
And they spoke French in the whole game, so
Yeah.
they didn't speak English at all.
Je suis.
Yeah, they were an amazing team. But yeah, so we ended up winning both games and kind of solidified that we had one more game against one of the worst teams in the league. So we were sure. We ended up winning that last game like 4-5-0, won the league in Oakwood history. So yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Wow.
Another question I had too was that, like, I know Oakwood always tries to push their players. Like they show great exposure to their players,
Yep.
right? So in that time frame, were you always thinking of like, all right, I want to go pro, but I'm gonna try to go to college first, or did you try to did you get looks when you were at Oakwood or anything like that?
In the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of kids going pro from these academy teams. But when I was playing, it was rare. It was rare to see academy kids going straight to pro. You had maybe 5 to 10 people and going to an MLS pro team instead of college. Very recently that it started for these kids at 15, 16 years old signing for the first team and playing there instead of going to college.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
can see that. Yeah.
As far as exposure wise, we were a really, really good team. So a lot of us would get called up to U.S. national team like training centers.
Yeah.
So it would be the best kids around like the Northeast, and we'd get like 3-4 kids from Oakwood invited every single time they had one. So it would be the youth national team coaches there running sessions with us, and it was exposure wise, it was amazing. We had a couple kids that played for the national team. A couple kids that went pro. So, yeah, no, we had a really good team, and exposure-wise, Oakwood was great, especially for colleges. We had college coaches come and run training sessions for us, to see how we were doing. They would come scout us in practice, not just games. Every game we had 4, 5, 6 college coaches there. So, exposure-wise, Oakwood, I think they still do a great job.
I think they're probably one of the best around in the Northeast too.
Yeah.
Oakwood.
Not just Connecticut. Yeah, Oakwood. Everyone always talks about Oakwood.
Shout out to Oakwood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Yeah.
What college did you went to? Come here.
So I went to University of Hartford.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was gonna be my next question.
what college you went to?
Yeah, like I know when you're at that age, like 17, right? You're looking at colleges.
17,
they're looking at you.
I committed when I turned 17, I committed to play there, and then I had a whole year of playing academy and not worrying about where I'm gonna go and all that.
Yeah.
So everything was kind of planned for me. But the reason I picked UHart, go back to family again. I live 30 minutes away from UHart.
Right.
I wanted my family to be able to come to the games. Every weekend I went home to hang out with them. So my father would pick me up on Friday nights, Saturday nights. Here and there I would tell him, "Hey, we have practice tomorrow, so I can go out on a Friday night." I can say that because my father doesn't speak English, so he won't be able to understand. But
I'm gonna translate it.
yeah. So, but I spend most of my weekends at home, so it was kind of an easy choice at the time. I had a bunch of colleges try to recruit me. I had a pretty good resume when it came to playing. So I had a lot of colleges try to get me out there, visits and all of that. But for me, it was either UMass Amherst or UHart. I was in the middle of both. So 30 minutes from UMass, 30 minutes from UHart. So it was kind of whichever one I want to go to, and the reason I picked UHart was mostly because it was a lot smaller.
Yeah. it is small.
UMass, 30,000 kids. You know, you need to take a bus to class. I didn't want to. I didn't want to mess around with all of that. So,
Wow.
yeah, UHart just felt like a little bit like home. You know,
Yeah,
open
yeah.
land. You know, you walk to class. You know, it was nice. So,
At that time too, UHart was at the top still. They were still a very good D1 school.
very, very good
Yeah.
D1 school. Very, very competitive in the America East. Very good players. It was a good team. So I was very excited for it. And it was me and Nick Benjamin from Oakwood.
Yeah, I remember Nick.
So him and I committed together to go to UHart. We were roommates.
You guys were buddies, huh?
Yeah. That's my brother right there. Yeah, yeah.
I remember Nick. Yeah, good kid.
So, I don't know if I could say this, but I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Seems like you choose your family twice, and they screwed you twice.
I've never looked at it that way.
Right.
My whole life I've had support from my family, so they've pushed me as much as they could. They've given me every single opportunity they could, so I would never say that or look at that.
Right.
Even with the choices I made, I still had opportunities. I had the best opportunities, you know, to make it to where I wanted to go. It was kind of me growing up. Maybe I was a little stupid, you know, making mistakes, you know.
Well, everybody make mistakes.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
yeah, college soccer was tough. I mean, I played well. I'm not going to lie. I played well with the minutes I got.
Yeah.
I stopped playing college soccer my sophomore year. So, freshman year, I got pretty decent minutes. Scored a couple goals, played well. We had a horrible season. We won one game. So we had a horrible season my freshman year. My sophomore year, though, we had an amazing season. Same players. We graduated one player. It was Zane Reed.
Yeah.
Thane. Hey.
Yeah, everybody
I was
knows
supposed to-
Zane.
I
An
was supposed to-
amazing player, one of the best players I've ever played with.
I was about to
So-
say that's probably why you guys lost so much, is because you guys were probably young. That's the thing.
Very young, but it was kind of like the second year of everybody playing together.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
college soccer, you only get 2-3 months a season, you know?
Yeah.
Injuries,
Quick.
if you get injured once, you're done.
Oh,
You
no.
know, it sucks. So college soccer is, But my sophomore year, the next year, same exact team, and we had 11 or 12 games unbeaten.
Ooh.
There you go.
12-game unbeaten run.
Flex.
Yeah, so we had a good season. I was playing. The
Boom.
minutes I got, I was playing pretty well. I think I had, before I quit, I had 300 minutes in like 14 games.
Yeah, 300 minutes.
In like 14 games out of like almost 2,000 minutes.
Yeah.
Oof.
300. And before I left, I was the top scorer on the team. I had 3 goals in 300 minutes. And a couple of the games, I don't even count it. I played like 5-6 games, or 5-6 minutes at the end of a half. You know,
Yeah.
so can't really do much. But
Can't do much.
yeah, so that's kind of like what raised my head and was like, hey, like, I have the least amount of minutes on the team, got the most goals. Why am I not playing? Why this? Why that? Asking questions. Once you get in in the
That
bad
headspace,
side of
yeah.
bad side of the coach, and the coaches have all the power. So at the time, we started butting heads here and there. So it was kind of, you know what, I'm not gonna die. I'm busting my ass in practice.
Right.
Should be starting or at least getting some more minutes. Here and there didn't happen. So it just got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
From mental health perspective, I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It was my first time ever not getting the minutes or the exposure that I'm used to. So at the time, I was young. I was like, yo, what's going on? This, that. So just kind of everything laid out, and I was like, you know what? I'm done with college soccer. I didn't quit school because of family. They pushed me at that. I never quit school. I was still at UHart. I am still at UHart. I have class later today. I'm getting my master's now at UHart. So
Congratulations.
thank
guys.
you. Yeah. So they've always pushed me in school. So I stayed in school.
Yeah.
But stopped playing college soccer. At the time, I was still training by myself with a couple other guys that ended up leaving the team as well. It was pretty frustrating season. So we were still training. I trained a couple of times with the girls team.
What?
So they would call me up, to go train with the girls team. You know, they were having a good season and they needed some more competition. So I would go over there and whatever they needed me to do, I did it.
Yeah.
You know, just to get on the field. But that summer is when I was searching for a team to play.
Who you found?
I found KO Elites.
You're wearing the headband right now.
Yes, sir.
In the gear.
Yeah.
I mean, before you reached out to KO, you didn't consider transferring? You just wanted to stay at UHeart?
I put myself in the transfer portal. Yes.
Well, how does that work?
So the way, I don't know how it works, but college coaches from other schools can go in this portal and they see all the players that are listed on there to, eligible to be transferred or who want to be transferred.
Okay.
So all my information was on there, stats and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had a bunch of coaches, man, from all over the country.
D1.
Yeah,
Still D1.
D1 schools out of like Tennessee, all Texas, Florida. Yeah. I'm like, hey, I picked UHeart to stay close to my family. I would never go all the way out there. So that's kind of when I saw that. Like, I love the school. I was so comfortable there.
Yeah.
Classes were going well. I met some of the nicest guys in the world that are my best friends still to this day. Still talk to them every day. So I just couldn't get myself to leave. And I felt like I could find other ways to try and still chase the dream.
Yeah.
Which I did. Like I said, I was looking for a team over the summer. KO Elites,
Boom. Perfect timing. Mike
Yeah.
Tyson. Do you know that you're on Google? Come here.
Yeah.
Sick.
I didn't know that, really. You just look him up.
Look, I just searched for him. I don't know why this thing always pops up.
Yeah. So
That is sick.
yeah, so I found KO Elites. I was just looking for some games.
Yeah,
I haven't
just
played a soccer game, I think. I don't know if I talked to Danny or if it was Nick.
I think it was Nick.
It might have been Nick.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I told him, I'm like, I haven't played a full field soccer game in almost 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, I was just eager to get out there, and then it was a friendly game we were playing against Polonia. I'll never forget it. This was, almost 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the first full-time,
I don't remember
full-field game. Yeah, well, we played Polonia like 10 times,
I know,
but I
that's
remember
right.
that.
You got
game.
90 minutes?
I'm not sure if I got 90 minutes, but yeah.
Was I coaching?
Yeah, he was
I was
coaching,
coaching.
and then he played a bunch of the younger guys. So it was me, like Jonesy and Alex, and
Yeah,
we had a pretty good team.
Oh, I think I remember that one.
Yeah.
I do remember that
Yeah,
game.
so that was the first time I played with KO, and the vibe, I was
Was
never
good.
around a lot of energy and the vibe from everybody, and I was like, yo, this team is awesome. These guys are great,
Yeah.
So I started going to the trainings. I always complained to Danny. I'll still complain to him. The
About
organization
what?
at the trainings is
Oh,
horrible, and I still
God.
complain. I'm like, yeah. So that's why
You need to do something about it.
You don't think it changed a little bit
Oh,
this
yeah,
season?
trust me, it have changed.
I'm sure this season, because you were playing in an
Like you
actual
always did.
organized,
Yeah.
league, and everybody took it serious, and that's awesome. But at the time, nothing. Yeah, yeah.
At the time when we were playing like those Sunday pickup leagues, like they
Yeah, we
always
were
say.
playing Sunday pickup league, so I knew I like coming from organized professional type of
Yeah.
environment trainings to then just kicking around with
Yeah.
a bunch of Jamaicans. I'm like, all right, dude, like Danny, I'm not coming to practice, and then he would threaten everybody, if you don't come
Yep.
to practice, you're not playing
Not
Sunday.
playing.
So I'm like, shit, all right, I have to go to practice now, kick around. So
Yeah.
it was always fun. So I've been playing with Danny and KO for almost 4 years now. Yeah, here and there. So that's been great. And through KO, staying in shape with you guys, I had a good opportunity with Hartford Athletic. I don't know if you remember that.
I do. I remember you told me about that. Yep.
Yeah.
You train for Hartford Athletics?
I didn't train with them, no.
What happened with that?
But they had the tryout
Tryout,
camps.
Oh.
And at the time, I wasn't doing anything, and it was like $50. I think I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just go kick around. I didn't even take it serious, and that's probably why I got selected to go to the next level.
Yeah.
But I was over there in my sweatpants. Like, mind you, it's cold. I got my hoodie on. Like,
Yeah.
I was just messing around, and they got me playing in midfield, picking the ball up, passing, playing simple, just having fun.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I get an email like 2 weeks later. Hey, like you're advanced into the next
Yeah, the next trial day.
phase,
Yeah.
and it's in 2 months. And I'm like, holy shit! All right, so I'm gonna start taking it serious, man. So that's when Nick introduced me to a personal trainer out of East Hartford, Diligence Training.
Oh
believe
yeah, I
it's
remember you were
called.
doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went there 2-3 times a week. Great guys, man. What they do, I follow them on Instagram still. What they do for the
I'm gonna have to follow
community,
them.
Yeah, they do a great
diligence
job.
training.
Yeah.
What they do for the community in Hartford, you know, the opportunities they give you.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing group, and they're growing every single day. I still follow them on Instagram. Very, very nice guys. So I was over there. I was taking it serious, and mind you, I was nowhere in shape to play at the level, even if it's USL.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't in shape at all. I was delivering pizza for for 2 years. I was delivering pizza. You know, eating horrible food. Started gaining weight. I was not in shape to play. So when the camp came around, I mean, I got in decent shape. But it wasn't where I should have been.
Yeah.
The training set, it was 5 days, Monday through Friday, every single day, and it was from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m.
4 hours. Damn.
Yeah. So, and mind you, it's in mid-June. It's hot.
Hot as hell, yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very hot. So we're out there running around. My first 2-3 days, I was definitely one of the top guys there for sure. I was playing striker, you know, hold up play and strength. Yeah, exactly.
Big guy.
Playing against some really big center backs, you know. So the way I was holding them up, the way I was linking up, scoring, had an amazing first 3 days.
Yeah.
4th, 5th day is when the fatigue started kicking in. That's when, I mean, after those training sessions at night, I would go deliver food and then go play the next
Next
day.
morning, yeah.
God.
Yeah, so the
That's hard.
4th, 5th day is when everything started going downhill, man. Like my legs were heavy. I couldn't kick. Running was tough. I had blisters all over my legs. So everything started going downhill. And it was around like 22 kids, I think. There was a couple guys that played for KO that were there as well. Eman.
Yep.
Yeah, Ofori, and
Was Jonesy there too? At that
Jonesy showed up. I think at the last. He got invited for the last training, and then he got invited to the friendly game.
time? Yeah, I remember he played like one friendly with them. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. They wanted me to play for Pioneers. Instead of they were like, hey, we're trying to do some sort of program with Pioneers where we're partner up and we could invite you to play some games and practices and all that.
Hartford Athletics, right?
Hartford Athletic, yeah.
Hartford Athletics. You should partner up with KO Elites.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go talk to them soon.
Yeah.
Big
yeah,
plans.
I have.
Especially when we have some of those players on the podcast.
Big
I'm
plans.
definitely gonna mention it.
Yeah, for real, and it's local, so why
Yeah,
not
exactly.
try it?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, they wanted me to go play for Pioneers. The year before I tried playing for Pioneers, at the time it was right out of college. It was the summer after. I was in peak shape, playing very well. Federico had signed 5, I think, Argentinians from Argentina that he was hosting here. 3 of them were strikers. So, yeah, so I was going to these practices, and he was like, oh, yeah, like, be ready for the game. And then he sent the email out, and I wouldn't be on the roster. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not wasting my time doing this, So I kind of stopped going there. I would go train here and there whenever I felt like it, but I knew he had his team set, and they had a really, really good team, so they were doing well. I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, the Pioneers usually do have a good program.
Yeah.
The only,
so-
I think personally, the only thing with the Pioneers is that they have their season during the summer. It's just the summer.
Yep.
And at your age, what, you're like 21 at the time, 22?
I think I was 20.
20. So
Yeah.
you're still in college too. So
Yeah.
when you get that summer off, it's like, am I going to waste my time here? Or am I going to enjoy my summer?
Exactly. So that summer, I played with them, trained with them. Didn't really play with them, but yeah, it was. I mean, the level, I felt like I was above most of the guys there.
Yeah.
At that time, but never really got to show what I could do. So stopped going there. Tried playing with Hartford City.
Yeah.
I went to one game in there. In the warm-up game, I tore my quad and stopped playing soccer for maybe 5-6 months.
Oh God.
Did not touch a ball, nothing.
Wow.
So
That must have been painful.
that was painful. So that was kind of the end.
That
of
is
the
where
run
you
for
said.
me.
That
That's
is
where
where
I
you said.
said I'm gonna focus on school. I'm gonna get myself a good job, and just focus on the future and kind of stop worrying or stop chasing the dream type of thing.
Damn. That's a big turning point.
Ow.
Yeah.
That is hurtful. It hurts me to hear that
Yeah.
from you, because I've seen you play. I've seen strikers on the TV. I've seen other strikers that are playing even semi-professional, and they're making good money.
Yeah.
And to see you just not playing professionally, it's very heartbreaking.
Yeah. It is what it is.
How do you cope with it though? How do you cope? Because I'm about that too. I stopped chasing the dream yesterday. How do you cope?
I think I just shifted my focuses to other things.
Doesn't
school,
bother you at all?
School being one of them. It did at first. It did. Just because seeing a lot of the people I played with, reaching the levels that I felt like I should have easily been there playing with them. It does kill you inside, but you kind of brush it off and pretend like it doesn't hurt. But I have nothing but respect for all my friends that have made it and that are playing at the level that they should be playing, because they're amazing players. But my focus was more on, how can I support myself, my family? I'm in my 20s now.
Yeah.
I was ready to be an adult type of thing. I was ready to start making money, start setting up a career for myself, and start setting myself up. And I felt like I feel like I'm on a really good path doing that side. So
That's right. So do you still play for money? Because we were playing in the
League.
In the Poppy League. I was just about to say
Poppy League,
Spanish
yeah.
League, and Lamar corrected me on the previous interview, on the previous podcast. He said to make sure I call it Poppy League, right?
yeah.
So I remember we were playing in the Poppy League, right? And you were playing with me, and we were making that money. So now, if the opportunity presents itself that Poppy League is paying you handsomely, or does that spark, or how does that spark arrive again?
Well, I stopped playing KO so that I could play in the Poppy League, and I would tell Danny, because he would invite me, hey, we got a game on Sunday here. I'm like, nah, I got to make money.
That's right.
So I played in the Springfield League with Gabriel.
Yeah.
We were on the same team, was another top striker, top player around here. Him and I were on the same team, and I've been playing in the Poppy League since I was 14 years old. with my brothers.
Speaking of 14 years old, go ahead. After you tell us about that fight that you got in the
I
Poppy
will
League.
get into that.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
finish that
yeah.
first.
Yeah, but I've been around that Springfield League for a long time. My brothers used to play in it, so they pay good money, man. They bet on these games. They put up a lot of money. So if you win, they pay the good players, and
They paid me handsomely. Let me say that.
yes, they do, and you got to take advantage of it because they try to take advantage of you. These guys are sitting on the sidelines. We're doing all the work for them.
Yep.
We make $200-$300, but they're making $2,000-$3,000.
Yeah,
So
easily.
So yeah, you got to be smart. And I've told Danny, if you invite me to play in these leagues for these teams, pay me first before the game starts.
Oh yeah, Kamer is my partner, by the way. Yeah, Kamer is
Pay
my
me
partner.
first before. And I told Pops when we went to play in that tournament, there's only one game. We lose, we get eliminated. We need to get the money before the game starts, just in case that happens. And Pops was like, oh, we're not going to lose. We're going to win, this, that. I'm like, I don't care. So I went up to the coach and I said, we're not going to play. He's like, why? Because I haven't gotten the money yet. So
Yeah.
Pops went to the trunk with them, got the money for us. We played the game, lost, and we left. It is what it is, you know. But yeah, you got to be smart when it comes to them, because if we lost that, if we didn't get the money before we lost, he wouldn't have paid us.
He probably would have went home.
Because went home, man. I think it was $1,000, $2,000 to put a team together in that tournament.
He had tears in his eyes.
He had tears in his eyes.
Poor guy.
Especially after Pops' performance. Yeah. Missing tap-ins.
I missed the tap in with my left foot.
Oh my god.
And Kamer was like this in the middle of the pitch because he had blisters on his feet.
Yeah,
God.
it was a good game. Yeah, but we ended up going to penalties. You didn't want to take a penalty. You
I'm
wanted
not
to go in
taking that.
goal instead of taking a penalty.
Crazy. Can you imagine if I missed
There were
that?
like 200-300 people. Pause. What did I do on my PK? Do you remember?
Yo, Kamer, I kid you not. We're taking a penalty. We need to score in order to win. Kamer took the ball. You were the first one to kick, right?
No, like second or third, I think.
Second one to kick. Bear in mind, we need to score this. We need to. Kamer, take the ball, spot it, take like 5 steps back, run to the ball as hard as he can, slow it down, Penenka.
Yeah.
Penenka.
Kamer doing
And
that.
then he just jog off so casually, right? And bear in mind, bro, Kamer was supposed to get way more money. He let me have most of the money.
Do you remember Kamer in the Christmas tournament against Keepa?
Bro,
penalty
you
kick?
remember that penalty that you
Yes,
took,
sir.
Kamer?
Yep.
This no, that's not a trophy.
No, it's at my house. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah, it's at my house. But
Yo, I tell you this again. I'm telling you, Kamer is smoother than the Thriller video. Kamer, this is keeper.
dude, I remember that penalty kick in against Keepa.
I honestly thought you were gonna miss
Me
that.
too. I was like, oh, Keepa probably
This
already
goal
knows
is too
Kamer because you guys
small.
played with each other
Yeah,
for a
we
little
played
bit.
it.
So I
You
was
were
like, Keepa
together,
probably
yeah.
knows. And then I was next to like Alex and Alonzo, and they were like, no, Kamer's definitely gonna score this.
Bro.
He loves this.
Yo, the goal is small. The goal is small, and keeper is big like a hotel. Never mind the house; he's big like a hotel. Come here, spot the ball. I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna miss. Let me mark this guy real quick because I was playing defender. And Kamer went up and strike that ball with such precision, striking right in the corner. Before keeper was in mid-air, the ball hit the net, came back out, and keeper still haven't landed yet. Bro,
And that made us win the thing. That
and
brought
made
the
us
championship. Boom,
win the
and we won.
championship 2-1, bro. Come here, bro.
That
I'm
was
telling
a fun
you.
tournament.
Yeah, that was.
Coming up again. I don't know if you.
I
saw
know
it.
they invited
One of the
me.
reasons
Yeah.
why
We'll see.
one of the reasons why I partnered up with you in these Poppy leagues is because I'm injured. I can't keep up, right? So I just get the ball, I give it to you, and that's it. My job is over, right? That's one of the reasons why Kamer is my partner.
You know, we got a big summer, Pops. We got a big summer. Got to
Bro.
make a lot of money.
Oh,
Dude,
we
you know,
have
even
to.
they do Poppy League and indoor too.
I'm playing
I
this
can't.
Saturday. They invited me to play this Saturday.
Where, Norwalk?
No,
Norwich?
Sports World.
Oh, really?
But I
yeah.
can play. So,
Yeah.
but so yeah, tell us about that fight that you have in Poppy League.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I was 14 years old. I was still not in high school yet. Like I said, my brothers would bring me because I was a big 14-year-old. I haven't grown since I was 14. I was this tall, so I was pretty big. I didn't look 14 at the time, so I would go over there and I was fast. You know, I was pretty fast. They
At the
couldn't catch
time.
me anywhere. Yeah, at the time. Yeah. So I played there. I would score a lot of goals for my brother's team. So they would bring me every weekend to play. But we were playing against some random team, and it was this big dude, playing striker for the other team. And my cousin was playing center back with my brother. And this dude getting frustrated. We're beating them like 3-4-0. 2-foot slide tackles my cousin. Almost, yeah, he's on the ground, but that's not the worst of it. This dude gets up as my cousin is on the ground grabbing his leg. This dude gets up, jumps over him, and stomps him in the face with a cleat.
Ooh, Zlatan.
Horrible. Yeah, he had a whole cut in his cheek and everything.
Oof.
Horrible. So my brother, of course, protect him. Yeah. And then a whole brawl started. Coronas being thrown everywhere. You know, it was intense. You know, it was pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. At the time,
you have that on video?
It was fun. No, I'm sure somebody maybe from their side had it on video, but we didn't have time to record, pops. We're running away from the Corona bottles.
That's Poppy League for you, right there.
Yeah. We've gotten into a bunch of fights in that league.
I love Poppy League. I love the Spanish people. They're so passionate about it.
They're scared of you, pops. That's why.
They're scared of me.
Yeah, you're twice their size. Yeah, they're scared of you.
I love them. Whenever I'm playing Poppy League and they see me, they're like,
no, they're
Always
very,
funny.
very nice. And
I love them.
After each game, they offer you food, which is awesome, and they have amazing food. So so it's fun.
And I love the Poppy League, bro.
So yeah, come here. So like nowadays, like you said, you're more focused on your work, family, and all that.
Yeah.
So do you think you would still try to stay around soccer? Like you're gonna try to I know you started coaching kids a little bit.
Yeah.
You're gonna try to stay in it in some
100%. Yeah. I mean, I'm still playing here and there.
Yeah.
I'll never stop. I feel like for the level that we play at now, I can hang around.
Yeah.
So I don't mind doing it. The commitment part, priority wise,
Yeah,
it's not,
of course.
it's not there anymore. So I have other priorities that, I try to put in front. But I'll still be around the sport for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Playing wise, yeah, for sure.
Do you have to take a coaching role soon?
Or
eventually?
Coaching for sure. I loved coaching.
Really?
Yeah, I love coaching. I had a U11 B team. Keyword B. So the kids I had on my team weren't as into it as I thought they would be. We would get 4 or 5 kids showing up to every practice, and I had like 14, 15 on the roster.
No, that's frustrating.
And it's not like they were missing practice on purpose. They would call me and say, hey, my kid has lacrosse, my kid has hockey, my kid has this, my kid has that. So couldn't really be mad about it, and it's a B team, so I didn't really press anybody. But I had fun. Yeah. It was fun. It was enjoyable, teaching little kids, little skills.
Not fun for me.
So I enjoyed it, and I would enjoy kids that are committed and that want to go to the next level. I would enjoy
doing something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Beautiful. So I know we don't have a lot of time next, but I just have like 2 more questions for you, Kamer.
Yeah.
Is that okay? All right. So one of the questions is, what would you have done differently knowing what you know now? I know one of them is staying in Germany.
Yeah, 100%. If I had the opportunity to stay over there, and not really, I don't know how to put it, but not have to worry about my family, or miss them as much as I did.
Yeah.
I would have stayed there. No questions asked. The other kids that were over there, I don't think they ever called their parents until their parents called them. They didn't care being away. Like, they enjoyed getting that opportunity to be away from their families.
I wish that would be me.
Yeah, so it was the total opposite for me. But yeah, if I had the opportunity to stay over there, just the training sessions, the opportunities that you had over there. I was there for a month and a half, and I already had opportunities training with some of the biggest clubs in the Bundesliga.
Yeah. Oh.
So
I don't know. You came here.
Yeah.
You came here for. Come here.
Be on the podcast. What do you
Yeah. Being Pops' podcast.
And everybody know that Kamer is my guy. But come here, I got a beef with you, man. Because you got the chance to play indoors. You didn't call me, and I'm your partner. But anyways. So, give us, what advice do you have for younger kids that is coming to try to make it to be a professional? What advice do you have for them?
It's a good question. What advice? I would say listen to your heart. Whatever your heart tells you to do it. Of course, you can ask people for their opinions and what they think, because there's a lot of people out there that have a lot more knowledge and a lot more understanding of this world. So, but listen to your heart. Do what you think is right. So if you get an opportunity and, some people are telling you, oh, do it differently, do this differently, whatever you think is the right thing to do it. If it's wrong, you learn from it. If it's right, everybody's happy.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And one more thing, my friend.
No.
Wait, that is it, right? No, what is your dream right now? Seeing that you
My
that didn't
dream
happen,
right now,
what's your
man?
dream? Yeah.
I told Danny on Friday I'm getting engaged, not planning it.
Hey, congrats.
Congratulations.
appreciate
Hey,
it.
shake my hand, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Oh my God, we're not gonna see you anymore. Your life is over.
No, she's very supportive, and she actually comes to a lot of the games as well. So, yeah, March 2nd. So it's coming up, but yeah, man, I met the most amazing woman in the whole world. I've talked to you about her, Pops. But yeah, now my dream is to start a life, a family.
That's nice. That's awesome.
That's beautiful, man. When are you coming back to KO, bro? Because we look at this. You see this? You want to win these.
Listen, it was tough. It was tough walking into the parking lot and hearing you guys celebrate. I'm not gonna lie, it was tough. But I know British will probably listen to this,
Yeah.
and I told him wherever he goes, I go. So if you have an answer from him, you have an answer from me.
I was about to come over there with you guys, but I'm not gonna say who told me otherwise. But trust me, I wanted to play with you guys so bad, especially when you're my partner and you're over there.
No, and listen, I have nothing but love and respect for everybody at Third Eye.
Right.
What they're doing is great as well. When I was playing with KO, whenever we got the opportunity to play against Third Eye, I'm like, let's go, getting the stats up tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And where they are now, unbelievable. What
Yeah,
they're
they
doing over
definitely
there,
improved.
what Shane is doing over there,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Shout out to Third Eye, man.
Yeah, Third
Shout out
Eye.
to Third
I mean,
Eye.
they were really very, very, very good to me. They brought the love of the sport back to me, the competitive side back to me,
Yeah.
for sure. Maybe a big reason was that I was playing against KO, but no, I enjoyed playing for them.
Yeah.
It was frustrating here and there, but life is frustrating.
That's how it is, yeah.
That's
That's
how it
life.
is. So nothing but respect to them.
Yeah.
It was tough at first because I didn't know anybody from over there besides British.
Yeah.
But got very close to a lot of them. Great guys, great team. What they're doing is great. So, yeah,
That is it.
that is it.
And that is time. Now, we have to leave, unfortunately. We could cover so much more, but I know you have to go.
Class.
A big shout out to our sponsors. I was saying it wrong this whole time. KO Elites FC.
Thank you.
KO Elites FC, Davis Media, Nick Media, and the one and only Oil Labs. So until then, continue watching and stay dreaming. Boom, we're out.
Appreciate you.